Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Weekly Collective. I hope you're doing great today. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. Right behind us, we have Apollo, who on cue said, I don't want to be on camera. Although he's sitting right here, so we'll bring him up. I hope everybody's doing great today. Mercury retrograde already kicking off in full effect this morning as the time was displayed wrong on the countdown. So rest assured, unless I otherwise state, we'll always be here on a Sunday. Thanks, buddy. So today, thank you guys. You actually have given me sort of full permission and vision to go wherever we need to go. So I'll decide as we kind of get into the reading. I've been reading all the comments. I read everything that comes on my phone and my computer, but I know many of you have been frustrated that the mirror ball option hasn't made it. So we'll at least take a little bit of a look into that. We're in retrograde. St. Patrick's Day is coming. I think today we may do maybe like a 3-part thing where I don't do a full Celtic, or if I do a Celtic, I'm still going to look into like retrograde and like how to change your luck. So instead of the extended forecast, I'll mix it up today. So here's to changes, and thanks for giving me a chance to look at what I need to look at. So much appreciation. If you're brand new, again, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is a weekly collective. Every Sunday we get together to take a look at the next 7 days plus a special topic. And you guys usually get to vote on that, so thank you. We're always going to begin with channeled messages. There were a lot of things that came through in dreams last night, so I'll break it down for you. The first thing that I kept seeing was kind of like this cosmic egg, which to me represents an Ace of Pentacles. But if we look at it more in like an egg perspective, eggs need to be fertilized and then tended. And so if there's like a passion project or something that you're trying to create or develop, same sort of thing. An Ace of Pentacles is potential, but if it were a seed, it would need to be watered in the ground. It would need sunlight. It would need time. So all of these things, time, energy, and nurturing, are what you need to possibly give to yourself or to something that you're trying to create in your life. So that's message number one. Also, just the fact that there could be an opportunity that's knocking this week. Don't be dismayed if it takes a little bit longer for all of the details to be sorted out. There could be some negotiations if it's a contract, or if somebody says yes, they may say, well, let's chat in 2 to 3 weeks. And it's like a little bit of frustration because it's taking time, but just see that as a chance for it to develop or nurture or gestate, however you want to kind of envision that. I saw a very clear exchange, which looked to me like counseling or therapy. So counseling could be getting advice on finances or business. Therapy, of course, talking through some of the things that we're all dealing with right now. It was just affirmation from Spirit that there could be a benefit from getting an outside and an objective perspective. So I just wanted to bring that through. It was very clear that it was some sort of counseling. This is a great week to engage, to research, to get that started. This is so funny. The other thing that I saw was a moment where, and I think this is very auspicious, possibly connected to that whole Ace of Pentacles thing, starstruck. There's someone that you've been meaning or wanting to connect with. And I've had this happen before. It's not necessarily starstruck, but synchronicity, where I really was like, I don't know why. I would see or hear someone, you know, their name or their face. I'm like, I don't know how, but I'm going to connect with that person. And then lo and behold, it happens. And it's more of like surprise. Oh, this really did happen. Take a deep breath, and before you say something, just kind of like gather yourselves and think, like, don't freak out. This is just another person. This is just another moment. Let's really embrace it. The other person wanted the best for you, but they could kind of pick up on your, sorry, Apollo's playing with the toy. They could pick up on the fact that you were distracted, kind of like that. So baby steps with that. Don't let it get in your sort of, in your way of being able to see it. We're going to be taking a look while I'm getting all this set up at the 7-day forecast, which is basically going to help you navigate the week ahead. Sorry, Apollo got my attention there. All right, so I've already got the deck ready. While we're doing this, close your eyes if you would. Let's focus on letting go of any distractions, any persistent thoughts that might be there. Imagine that you are in a beautiful location. Let's just use the beach. Create a circle around your body. Imagine that you're tracing it in light. The sun is directly overhead. And in this moment, you are connected and protected. And let's see what's coming in from Sunday to Sunday. Okay. Thanks for all the kind words about Apollo. Yeah, he's doing great. He's got that spring back in his step. What's great about dogs in particular is their ability to heal, both from emotional and physical sort of issues. So we should all be so lucky, right? It just reminds us of the ability for the body to kind of make amazing bounds, leaps and bounds. All right, let's get started. We're going to begin with the energy of this Sunday. The energy for Sunday is Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is actually a very good card. It comes on the heels of success, the Six of Wands. And as we can see with the illustration here, sometimes there's additional scrutiny when you do something well and you get more attention. And I mentioned this, I think, in the very last reading that I just did for Taurus. Take all of that with a grain of salt. It's actually a good sign if people are taking note of what you're doing. There's always going to be an armchair critic that thinks that they have better skills or could do something differently. Maybe, maybe not. They're just opinions. Take it with a grain of salt and focus on what you can do. There may also be more opportunities that are knocking. And discernment is one of the key ways to be successful when it comes to sort of like options on the table. So what I mean by discernment is like, is it worth it? Can you make an impact? Does it connect with you on a heart level? Be picky, choosy. And the final thing on this one, especially since we are in a Mercury retrograde, aside from the technology stuff, which we've already seen today with the cameras and the times, kind of being different this morning, communication isn't as optimal as it usually is. And what we see in this is a defensive stance. So when you need to fight, by all means fight. By the way, again, we're looking at Monday. But generally speaking, it's not good to go into something with too much emotion, too much of a feeling of being on the defensive. So I think what would be advantageous is to take a step back, breathe, meditate, and really kind of figure out what is this person, if you're meeting resistance, why are you meeting resistance? Because typically that's the de facto thing here. You have to fight, you have to resist. Someone in front of you may be jealous, they may be nervous, they may be angry. We got to go to the root of it rather than meeting the emotion with the emotion. So it's because basically that's the definition of escalation. If both parties just keep amping it up, eventually it's going to dissolve in a way that isn't favorable. So someone has to de-escalate. Someone needs to check in and say, if someone normally doesn't kind of get angry or defensive, just say, wait a second, is everything all right? This isn't usual. Normally we don't have this issue. Is there something else, or where did this come from? Gently get to the point rather than acknowledging, like, I hear that you're upset, but why? That will help pull it down. And it's saying, I'm so sorry you're upset. Let's talk. I'm sure we can reach an agreement. That's also reassuring. Like, I don't really want to yell. I don't want to fight. I want to resolve this. So try those tools. And then if necessary, reschedule, disengage and reschedule. You could say, clearly we both need some time before we can come together here. Like, let's think about it. Think about what you need, what you don't need. We'll come back to the table later. So you can always delay as well. Okay. Just some gentle nuances because we are in retrograde. Let's take a look at the energy of Monday. Three of Cups. It's a great day for connecting with others. It's upright, so it's celebration, it's family, it's community, it's a good time. And so, I was talking about counsel. It isn't always like legal counsel, professional counsel. Sometimes it can just be advice from a friend. Hey, what do you think about this? Am I missing something here? And talk to someone who truly is objective and can kind of be that voice of reason. The other thing here is like celebrating life's little victories. Sometimes we focus so much on the pressure that we're putting on ourselves to succeed and this and that. Like we lose track of why we're doing it. And this is basically spending time with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Some of you may also be wanting to put a little bit more effort into dating and your social life. Absolutely, Monday is great for all of that. But taking all of that out of the equation, it's just a good day to be with people. So if there's anything that requires someone else's positive energy and buy-in, again, from a business perspective, it's a great day to have a first meeting. It's a great day for a first date. It's just a good time to hang out with people that you care about. We like this as a start to the week. I think we all need a little bit of joy and fun. Make some time for it in your life as well, okay? Now, and yeah, St. Patrick's Day too, so it's all good stuff. All right, looking at the energy of Tuesday, we have the moon in reverse, and this is a little more challenging. So there could be someone in your life that isn't ready to talk about something. It's not necessarily that they're hiding it. There could be fear. And so what you can do in this situation is to create a safe space without kind of like giving away that you already kind of know that they're hiding something or need to talk. You could just say, hey, I'm here if you need anything. Or you could kind of give an example of something that they might be going through and show that you have empathy. And that's kind of like just putting out the red carpet, leaving the door open and kind of letting them know that they're a resource or that you're a resource for them. If someone is more specifically not doing what they say, which can also be a part of this card, again, I do think because we're in a retrograde, it's good to check and double check. And you could first start with just, was I clear? I noticed that this isn't happening. Was there any lack of clarity? Were you confused? Is there something else going on? Give them a chance, give them an out. But if there wasn't, then just say, well, I just have to be straightforward. This upsets me, but just like don't let it happen again. So you can put a line in the sand, but also with some kindness, giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's the main thing on Tuesday. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Try your best to connect with them and smooth things over. There could also just be something that you're afraid to face. The moon card is about facing your own fear or fears and your own shadow side. The things that you know that you need to work on. This is a day where you can start to chip away at that and make some progress. We have a great card at the center of the week, Queen of Cups. She's in the upright position. Very, very optimal day if you want to do anything romantic, anything social, anything in a public sphere, because people, generally speaking, want to be around you. There could be starstruck energy around you where someone's been wanting to meet you and connect with you. This is the day where that sort of intuition that I had could connect. And I say starstruck, it's not necessarily a star. It's just this feeling of, oh, wow, this is what I was waiting for. So it's more of a synchronicity or an awakening. Your creativity and your intuition are heightened. So this is a great day to lean into that and, do something creative. And if you're picking up on something, follow through. Beautifully illustrated reflection here. So it's a great day to be introspective. You may also be able to see other people's sort of true selves because we're looking at that reflection. And it's interesting because the moon reflects, and we see the moon here, and there's more reflection coming through. So a lot of truths being revealed in Tuesday and Wednesday. But generally speaking, you have a great capacity on Wednesday to make whatever you want happen. And it's because of your passion, your charisma, just the general energy that is kind of like a magnet. So it's a great day. All right, now let's take a look at a somewhat more challenging Thursday. This is particularly when it comes to teamwork, communication, and just getting things done. So the Five of Wands can represent potential conflict. A lot of times it comes over competition. Sometimes if you are at school or at work, it's because there's a lack of leadership or clear vision. And so one thing that we can do to avoid conflict is to check the direction. Wait, what are we doing this for? Because usually there's duplicative work, meaning that there's overlapping efforts. And what you can do is come through and say, hey, did you know I'm working on this? Maybe you don't need to do that. Let's try to partner up. I feel like we could get this done faster together because it looks like we're kind of like overlapping. So there's a chance to kind of like save time, maybe take the lead, or maybe get that leader where they need to be, front and center, and say, hey, it seems like we're a little confused here. So those are some things to focus on. Sometimes this is just like you're burned out and you're kind of like tires in the mud, not making any progress. So take a couple of steps back, because I've talked about this before in Wands, but if you backtrack, typically they're beneficial. You get from a negative card, which is really usually just the 5 here, sometimes the 7, but if you take a step back, it's better. So 4 of Wands is partnership. 3 of Wands is looking around and saying, oh, there's something right here that I can do. 2 of Wands is brainstorming. So it's like you can always go back to basics if you need to on Thursday, rather than just kind of like operating against something that you know isn't right. And back when I used to work in more traditional, corporate work, more often than not, we would just work against ridiculous deadlines or or do something that you knew wasn't right because you didn't have a choice. So if you have a choice, speak up. If you don't, again, try not to get too upset over that, because it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. Spend your time and energy on better things. All right, let's take a look at the end of the week. It's a day to basically put the energy within. We have Queen of Pentacles here. It's reversed. So a lot of times with the Queen of Pentacles, this is about saying, you know what, I want to work on this skill or this challenge or this issue, and I want to take care of myself. Next to the Empress, she's one of the most divine, feminine, nurturing cards that you can get. So a reversed Queen of Pentacles, when I'm reading for you, is about yourself. There's also a warning that there could be someone around you that will take as much as you're willing to give them. So boundaries become increasingly important, and this would be direct family or authority figures. It's interesting what they did in this illustration, because normally the Queen of Wands is in the desert, but what we see here is the oasis. So I guess I get what they're showing here. She's the one that's kind of the one that everybody goes to for nurturing, for support, for that sort of like, connection. So make sure that you're refilling your own sort of internal battery. And by doing that, you're going to have more than enough to give for everybody else. Okay. Let's take a look at next weekend. As we look at Saturday, we have 6 of Cups energy in reverse. There could be someone coming back and that you haven't talked to in a while, and they want to reconnect. So this could be the energy of reunions. There could also be a chance encounter with someone. This is another chance for that sort of interesting connection that I saw. You may decide to spend a little bit more time with children in your life or loved ones in your life. There could also be a need from them for your time and energy. So leave a little bit of extra time in your schedule just in case there's a family obligation, just in case you want to do something social. This card, they chose to kind of title it Pleasure. So this might be a day for leisure, for relaxation, kind of continuation of what we saw with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There could just be surprise friendship, love, or connection that's coming through. Generally speaking, it's a good card, but if you do have children in your life, they may need you, so make time for them. Children or pets. All right, next Sunday, a week from today, we have the Prince or the Page of Cups. I'm not the Page, I'm sorry, the Knight of Cups in reverse. Let's talk about it. All right, what I like about this illustration, if we look at it upright, is I believe it's a dolphin there. Again, kind of moving with the playful energy. If there's something that you're trying to do, if you can be playful in the way of manifesting it, like, hey, universe, I could take this or leave it, but I really am ready for this right now. It gives you a little bit of detachment, just enough so that the universe may believe you and come in and give you what you want. But there has to always be just a little bit of unlocking. You don't want to kind of be like, it's kind of like a suction cup, like you would see on a octopus or something. If you hold on to something too much, the universe pulls away. So we just want to gently pull the tide in your direction. And I feel like that's what I'm getting here is don't be so attached to something. Use your emotion, your passion, and your energy to also have a couple of other things that you might be able to connect with. Leave your dance card open, and don't be so exclusive when it comes to trying to get the one thing, whether it's a job, a relationship, or something that you're just really interested in. More options are better. Not to the point of confusion, but a couple. Leave that dance card open. And then you may have a little bit of heightened emotions, so you might need to take care of yourself. So whenever I look at a Knight card and they're reversed, it's basically saying, I need to step back and look at this element. So my heart, do I feel the same about this person, about this activity, about this investment? If I don't, why am I doing it? It's an introspective, analytic card, and it's just basically saying, I need to get clear here. So that's the most important thing that you can do, aside from the law of detachment, rather. Let's look at highlights and challenges, and then we'll get into the elements, and then I'll figure out how we're going to tackle all the different topics that want to come through today. Okay, so I think that highlights for this week, we can look at, basically these 2 days because they're upright and they're powerful. I think Monday's a great day to have a little bit of fun, be a little less serious, and just possibly even meet somebody. Like sometimes we hear things word of mouth, and it's not to be underestimated the importance sometimes of just making room for socialization. So Monday's great. And then it feels like the midweek is when you really come into your power and things get much, much better. I think today being careful about not being triggered is important. The rest of the week is fairly manageable. Self-care and really focusing on communication as we look at Thursday. Those are the key things here, but the rest of the week is pretty manageable. Okay, let's clear the cards, and we're going to move on to the elemental portion. And the elements are basically a chance for us to more specifically look at fire, earth, air, and water. Let me see which deck I would like to use for that. All right. Let's take a look now at the 4 elements and see what else is coming through for this week. We'll look at fire, earth, air, water. All right. A lot of water coming through this week. We're going to start off first with the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the Knight of Cups. Now it's in the upright position. So once you do get your heart in the right place, once you are a little bit detached and open up that dance card, things start to work in the right direction. Follow your heart, follow your passion. And then also, with this, it can also be about meeting someone halfway, making sure that both sides are getting a little bit of what they want and need. Always a good thing. This is a great week to focus a little bit more on relationships, passion projects, and again, just general satisfaction and fulfillment. What brings joy? What brings you closer to that sense of this was worth it? This is worth my time and energy. And that's really what you should be focusing on. There could be some good news coming in as I look at what looks like a falcon in the background or eagle. So one thing that you can do, it's really a great way of manifesting, is to expect and get ready to receive positive outcomes and positive news. Think, oh, wow, good news is coming. I can't wait to get it. You don't know what it is, but you're already opening it up. You're opening the channel on this end and saying, I'm ready to receive a very positive, very generous, very elevated opportunity, energy, or announcement. So that's something that you can do if you want to kind of manifest a little bit and see if that doesn't help you bring in something great, okay? Generally speaking, this is a great card. It looks like it's a good week for all the fire signs. Okay, let's move on to Earth. 3 of Pentacles, very favorable. This is a card for those of you that might be studying something brand new. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you may be deciding to get some training, certification, going to a course, a seminar, or maybe registering for school. This is also a card connected with those of you that have proficiency in communication, whether it's written or just oral communication. This is a great time for writing in particular. So drafting up a plan, putting together a proposal, creating a prototype, getting it somehow in a written or downloadable form, really, really good. Recognition and teamwork is also a part of the 3 of Pentacles. So People may be taking note of the high quality of work that you're doing, your attention to detail. So by the way, keep doing high quality work and pay attention to all the details. And then work with others, peers. It's a peer card. So people who are kind of have the same sort of high standards. This is a great week to collaborate, cooperate, and to produce something amazing. So generally speaking, pretty productive. When we're looking at money or budgets, you can make something of it. This is really about organizing it. Even if you don't see what you want, getting a firm handle on it and putting it together is part of understanding it. So creating the budget could also be really effective. Okay? Great energy this week. Let's now look at air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Let it go, let it be, and step into the spotlight. The Sun card in reverse, often a child in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith cards. When reversed is basically a need to birth or a need to let it go. You might be holding on to something to the point of like being a perfectionist, and it's time to just sort of release it. Even in this card, normally we would have a horse, but I like that we have the boat. It is about movement. And so there is something that is not sort of as fluid. That's why, and it's not necessarily stuck. It's just about taking the step or letting it go. The other thing that I'm getting with this is there may be someone around you that is lacking maturity or lacking the vision, and it's important to create some distance if that's the case. So in respect to letting things go, there are friends, there are colleagues, there are work opportunities that sometimes orbit in or orbit out of our presence, and it's okay. If somebody's exiting, someone else will be entering, and so there may be someone that you're just kind of like parting ways, ships in the night. It's okay. It's a natural progression of the soul, and you're basically just getting ready for an upgrade. Much like the Queen of Pentacles reverse energy that I was talking about, this is also introspective. So if there's anything that you need to do this week in particular to be seen, heard, appreciated, etc., please do it. The inner child is coming out for attention, and that's basically it. I do love that they chose to put a solar god on this card. It's also showing you that ability to reclaim power, right? Let us not forget the solar plexus. So irrespective of age, experience, or anything of that nature, you are deserving. Maybe that's what you need to hear. You're deserving of what you want to come through or what's coming through. Don't let doubt be an unnecessary friction or resistance. Claim the prize. You don't need to reclaim power. You have the power. Just claim the prize. Let's reframe the way we're stating this, especially since we're in a retrograde. Moving on to water signs. Pretty great card, actually. I mean, it's the top of the suit here, King of Cups. Can't get much better if I'm reading for the elements. I love that we have this sort of serpentine energy here. The flexibility is what I'm really paying attention to as I see this water dragon. So this is a moment where if you're flexible in the way that you can work or the way that you can receive, or just going with the flow, whatever the universe might be presenting this week, ostensibly good because it's the King of Cups, that flexibility will be rewarded. It could be, for instance, that someone needs your presence earlier, way back a long time ago, well over 2 decades ago, 2.5 decades ago. One of my first jobs, it was one where I manifested it. Basically, I put out a job application on New Year's Eve, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be where I'm at next year, which would be tomorrow. But within 7 days, I heard from the company that I applied to, and they said, we're interested, but we need you to come this week. And I said, well, I can maybe do next month. They said, no, we need you this week. Can you make it Wednesday? Can you be here in 2 days? I said, okay, yes. I had to be flexible, and it was good because it then was a 4-year assignment that I ended up getting. So if you may have to act sooner than you need to normally act, you may need to do something in a different way, present it in a different format, let go. The resistance energy isn't a part of this. This is very fluid, very smooth, and that sort of fluidity will pay off in the long run. Creativity, passion, and intuition, of course, are a part of this. It's a really great week for you. And of course, with relationships, love, and just being with others. So on the days where we got cups energy, especially focus on any sort of people activities that you need. Monday, of course, a shining card of that. So I think this is a great week for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Enjoy. The only thing that can hold you back is sensitivity and just being a little bit more, what's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, it's almost like things can get under your skin a little bit. So don't let that happen because everything else is really optimal. All right, folks. Now we're going to go on to the special topic, which no pressure is whatever I choose. So I'm going to choose the one that I saw so many complaints about. I was like, well, if I get a special topic, clearly I'm going to go for an underdog one, which is the mirror ball, which is looking at things from other people's perspectives. So what I think I'm going to do for today is we're going to start on that. And then it makes no sense not to look at luck because we have St. Patrick's Day. And of course, we'll tune into retrograde. So we won't do the expanded. I'm just going to do a Celtic on the mirror ball. And then in the time that we would normally do the Celtic, it's just about the same amount of cards. I can pull 3 for each of those lesser topics that didn't get as many votes, and everybody wins this week. How does that sound? Good, I hope. All right, welcome everybody. Quick reminder, if you like this, simple, sweet, and free, subscribe, like, comment. It helps the channel. And I really appreciate it, and I would love to get to the next milestone. So please do that, and give me a follow on social as well. All right, let's get started here. I'm going to choose a different deck for this one moment. We'll do the Curious Travels for this portion. I like it. It always brings really great energy. So that is what I'm going to do. All right, so we're going to focus on looking at things from other people's perspective. Let me just kind of make sure that I've got the exact wording. See your situation from another perspective. That's more specific. Okay, so some of you are feeling stuck. I think this could help us also in a retrograde. And it's basically, how can we make lemons from lemonade? How can we see the larger purpose? What's missing? What are you missing from the picture? So for everybody that wanted mirror ball, now you get it. I do read the comments. Sometimes our higher selves, our guides, our angels can see it easier. So I'm going to allow them to work through the cards and whatever sort of intuition I pick up on while I'm looking at them. What does everyone need to see? They may come through with a little bit of tough love today, and I'll do my best to deliver that with kindness. This is probably one of my new favorite decks, or my favorite new decks. And I'm just going to do a catalyst only on this. Again, no extended. That way I can actually look at a few new things for everybody. But everyone wins on this too, because I know you guys like it when I do a Celtic Cross. So I'm trying to blend everything today. Okay. All right, so depending on where your placement is in Uranus, we actually got that for the catalyst. And this is, I mean, there are lessons coming forth right now. When I look at the karmic lesson here, like right at the center, what Uranus is bringing forth is like burnout mode. For some of you, until you take a step back and rest, it's going to be very difficult for you to see how you got stuck or why you're kind of like cycling into something. So I feel like the two cards that teach us the most here, Four of Swords and Knight of Cups in reverse, are saying, hey, slow down. And it's important like to be happy here and now. There are a lot of people that work almost solely for the future or for others. I've told this story before, but it makes me laugh, and I still can't believe that person said it. But like when I was in high school, I was in an advanced placement program, so a lot of the classes were hard. And I remember one of the students in homeroom just saying, I can't wait until I'm retired. Like, I'm like, you're not even 20. You're not even in college. But this girl was burned out. And I thought, that's not good. That's not good. And I also worked way too hard. I think if I could go back in time, if I could turn back time, I would just enjoy the moment a little bit more, because what's the rush? The quote unquote real world isn't all that it's built up to be sometimes. So we really need to enjoy. And tomorrow, who knows what tomorrow may bring? The only thing certain right now is you're here today. You have the ability to make choices that it can affect tomorrow. And you have your health, your mental capacity, and the people around you. Lean into that energy right now. Don't focus solely on the future or on the past. We really need to be more present. That's really what I'm getting with this. And don't be afraid to reach out for support. I'm looking at that lightning bolt. It reminds me a bit of the tower energy. So you may be on the precipice of making a major change, but I think it's important to breathe and to plan. Nothing hasty right now. That's what I'm getting. Give yourself at least 1/4 of the year. Give yourself 3 months to chart out a plan. If you feel the same way that you feel now, what are we in, March, April, May, June? So if you feel like the middle of the year, if you feel the same in June, do it. But there's something about letting a season pass, a quarter of the year go by, and allowing yourself to kind of sit with it and research it that is going to be really important. Let's go to the center. Nothing good comes from, stressing yourself to the point of exhaustion. This Four of Swords always makes me laugh a little bit, because it's basically the insomniac. You can see her eyes open, or both eyes ostensibly, and she's just staring at the ceiling. And it's staring, wishing that there was clarity, that tomorrow would come, that the night would go. And again, I think it's wishing away hours of time. So let's not wish away any time. Let's be as present as possible and just say, thank you for allowing me to be here right now. What an amazing opportunity. What an amazing time. How can I make the most of it? You can't fix everything. You can't fix everyone. What can you do to be as present and as satisfied and as effective right here, right now? Making a small dent in the universe. If each of us make a dent, wow, we can actually push through, make a breakthrough. You just have to make your small dent. That's really kind of like, that makes me feel better too, right? That's why we show up every Sunday. It's been a long time that I've been doing this. This is like, I started it around the pandemic, I think, before the pandemic. My channel's now over 10 years old, but the collective's been almost like half a decade. So that's what we try to do, is kind of push through a little bit each weekend, and then eventually there's an opening. That's all you got to do. And don't lose sleep over it. I was singing a Cher song a couple moments ago. She has a good phrase that she talks about, but like, if you wouldn't care about this like 5 years from now, then don't waste another breath or another moment right now. If it's a small thing, if it's a disagreement, does it matter? I don't know. I don't think so. So we're gonna worry less. We're gonna rest more. We're going to give ourselves a chance to let things go. This is also a gentle card of release. And so letting people and things and energies and thoughts go. I've seen people in my own life fixated on others. And I'm like, if you stopped all the energy that you put into like focusing on your ex, or focusing on this person, or getting angry or jealous of that, or imagining that things are happening, that is so much wasted energy. Put it into your own life, put it into your own things, tune it out. So that's also what I'm getting here, is let all of that go and focus on where you can really, putting it to rest. Focus on what you can make the biggest impact on. All right, High Priestess energy. Believing is seeing, and what you choose to kind of give, I was just talking about that, what you make center stage in your own mind becomes your reality. So you can see it from a different perspective. I kind of like that the veil is there. Lift up the veil, go beyond the veil, see beyond the illusion of the present. What's next? So I really loved the message that came through on the full moon and eclipse reading that I did, which was the storm is the distraction. I feel like that is such an important thing for what's going on in the world right now, because people will use absurdities, drama, miscommunication as a distracting element so that you don't see what else is going on. So what we need to do is go beyond the distraction in our life and see what else is available. That is just churning your energy and anchoring it. So let's go beyond the obvious. This is nonsense. What's next? We need to be like a chess player, where you're thinking 3, 4, 5 moves ahead, so that you can have that checkmate moment. Don't let this pawn get in the way, whatever it is. And again, the pawn is the distraction, and it's not a person. I think for many of us, it's a smoke screen. It's an activity, it's an event, it's a communication, and it divides us and it distracts us from the opportunity that's knocking for some of you. So looking beyond the present, looking to what the big purpose is in your life. It's kind of answering the call, right? What else? So when you really get into, we're going into your power. Ultimately, the High Priestess is one of the most powerful cards. So one of the things that you can do to change your perspective is to see yourself as the source. I am a powerful creator. I am a powerful manifester. I am worthy. I am ready. I am capable. I am plus a very positive adjective. Put that into rotation. I am ready to break through. I'm ready to see beyond. I'm ready to receive more. Put it out there and start to then turn. It's almost like you're putting on a different magnification. So I have different glasses depending. I can see in the distance. I can no longer see computers very well. The closer it is, the blurrier it is. So if I'm walking outside, then I have basically 2 or 3 focal points in my glasses. So you need to change your lens based on where you're looking. Are you looking very close? Are you looking further out? So I'd love for you to look into the distance and see beyond. That's the main message there. And don't underestimate your creativity. All right. Emotions. This is your anchor. This is what Uranus is bringing through. And definitely take a look at where your placement is in Uranus to align this message. But what I'm getting here is an emotional block. The emotions are stronger than logic. What the universe is saying is it's already here. But there's something inside that either in your heart that either doesn't want it, doesn't believe it, or doesn't align with it. So if you just don't believe it, let that go. It's here. If you don't align with it, find something that your heart does align with. If you don't want it, say no. So it's going to be different because I'm doing a general, but that's the resistance that I'm picking up on is there's something in the heart that won't let the key go all the way through. So depending on which of those 3 things resonates, you know what to do. Because once you're open, then everything, kind of like that King of Cups, which was a serpent, everything starts to flow. Okay? By the way, I love that we have this sort of school of fish around him. This is reminding you that you have the potential to work well with a group of people. You don't have to carry the mantle all alone anymore. I think this moment in time, power in numbers. So one of the things that you can also do is focus on how can I activate kind of like a grassroots thing. How I don't have to do this all alone, whether it's creative, whether it's some sort of a change, whether it's healing, group. That's what I'm getting here, power in numbers. Okay. Once you work on that, things just start to harmonize. I love the pollinators here. One of my favorite 4 of Wands. We have 2 worker bees partnering up here, saying hello. But we have the 4 of Wands here, which is the kind of energy I think that we all seek. It is BFF, basically, best friend forever, or ride or die energy. This is someone who's there through thick and through thin. If they're not here yet, they're coming. And what you have to do, this is very much like Field of Dreams. You have to create the stage. If you build it, they will come. And so it's really important to create things in your life that also are attractive to people who have done the work. So you basically work on yourself. You clean up your life. You clean up your house. You clean up your finances. You clean up your relationships. And then when it's time, you can get to work with this partnership with this other person who's done the same. Because we don't want someone to fix us. We want someone to meet us at the level. At least I don't want someone to fix me. And I think most of us want a partner, not a teacher, a partner, not a parent, a partner, not a boss. And so in order to get that partnership, we have to work on cleaning those other levels. So it's cleaning house and setting the stage. And then your fellow bee comes in. Your king or queen. Okay, let's see what's going on. I mean, I really love, this is the right, well, there is no right order, because you could also see this as just like dating and then this is marriage. But what's almost happening for some of you is you could meet someone where it's just like, oh, we really vibe as friends, and then it actually can go to the next level. I'm not doing an extended for this, so I'll just intersperse career or love as I see it. So things could get serious quickly, and you could feel a mix of both. I know I felt best friend energy upon first meeting. So you can have love at first sight, but it can be unconditional platonic love, and it can also be passionate love. So sometimes you just see someone across the room and you're like, I need to talk to them. And then, or you have a first meeting and you're like, we're going to be friends, or that's going to be my future partner, right? That could happen for some of you over the course of this week or even the course of this month, if you work on some of the other stuff that we talked about. So synchronistic energy is buzzing around. It's ready to land, but you have to kind of like set the stage first. And then we just see really great energy, intertwining energy here. The only kind of cautionary note that I get with this Two of Cups is there could be a friend or family member that really gets into your business. So like is it the boa constrictor that kind of strangles things out? Make sure that you know where you start and you end and they begin, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Boundaries are important. Space is important. And we don't want to be so wrapped up in someone else's life or identity that we lose our own, right? You're not just a wife or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. You're you. So don't lose what makes you you. Don't get lost in the mix. And if we're just looking at a platonic relationship, this is someone that is almost kind of wrapping themselves around you so that you won't go away. And it's a little bit constricting. I mean, that's what I'm getting. So be mindful of that and focus on healthier relationships. Yeah, entanglement. Thank you for that clarification. So we want to detangle. It's like when you wash your hair and you put on like a detangler. That's what we want to do there. Because why? Even with your hair, it's healthier. You don't want everything tangled up. You've got to have something to separate it a bit. Let me take a drink and then we're going to talk about a very important Ten of Swords. So, the Ten of Swords, often feared, usually misunderstood, not necessarily as bad as it seems. This is avoidable. We're looking at the future. That's why we show up here. This Ten of Swords is in reverse. I view a reverse Ten of Swords as a chance to see it before it comes. I know in my own life, there are family members or friends or relations that I'm just like, we're going to argue. If I get together with them, they're going to pick an argument with me. I don't want to do it. So I can see a Ten of Swords 10,000 miles away, and I'm like, nope, I'm just not going to go there. Literally, I may not go to an event where that person is, or if I have to, I'm going to avoid unnecessary conversations and connection. Keep it really high level, really shallow. Sometimes shallow is good. How's the weather? How are you doing? Good to see you. And you move on. Keep it to the highest possible topics where there's nothing Sensational. This can be also awareness that something isn't sustainable in your life. So when you're working to a point of exhaustion and you have to have like 7 coffees to get through the day, this may not be something that you can sustain. If you are constantly having to push to get someone to understand something, it's not worth it. We shouldn't have to fight all the time. So this is also just about letting things go, because ultimately we don't want to end up like the person there, feeling pain, feeling rejection, feeling like, why did I do this? And I'm looking at also how this is kind of like penned down. So one of the things that you're doing here is pulling out all of the cords and just saying, actually what the universe is bringing through is someone else's rejection is just, it's an opinion, but it's also protecting you from investing anymore. So of course, rejection is protection, but also I don't have to accept your opinion of me as anything more than your opinion. It's just a thought and it doesn't align with me. So I'm not going to let that pierce my skin, get into my psyche, get into my heart. So in the fiction book that I wrote once upon a time, there was this idea of like, you could actually meet words with words. Like, so the main character in my book basically just said your words are meaningless, and just kind of like he took the air out of the balloon. So we can do that. If you hear something hateful, hurtful, or wrong, you just have to think, what nonsense. I am not going to let that deflate my energy. I'm not going to let it ruin my day. I'm not going to give it another moment's thought. And you just turn it off. And I think that's really what we're looking at, is an avoidable 10 of Swords, burnout, negativity, an argument, someone pushing your buttons, and you're not going to do it. Been there, done that. Too many other good things. It's usually when you're moving in a good direction that people tend to come through and create a little storm. All right. You're coming through with great energy. 3 of Pentacles, yet again. So we see here again, recognition, partnership. The partnership vibe is really beautiful in this with all the dolphins. Just like I was talking about with the King of Cups, great opportunity to work well with others. Seeking out a peer or common group is what I see with this. So sports, hobbies, academic peers, anybody that shares your passion. And it could be something like a book group, right? Like a book of the month, where you're getting a book club. Yeah. So something like that, where it's just like, we like this, taking a cooking class with other people that want to learn cuisine or whatever, culinary arts. It doesn't have to be a traditional sort of like academic track. It's more like, I love this, you love this, let's do this, and let's develop sort of a nice camaraderie. And you never know what could come of that, by the way. Something that starts off as, this is fun, this is just passion, could be something that then pays the bills one day too. If you're looking to go to school or expand your knowledge, yes, it's come through a few times. This is about the right time to be looking at the next calendar year. So, or like fall semester, whatever. So start doing the research. This is a good time to look, okay? And you're overdue for recognition. That's what I get with this as well. All right. Let's see what's going on in the environment. Good stuff. So we have success here. We see a wreath around the horse. It's the 6 of Wands. And I love that a lot of different modern decks just show all of the hands. We could see that as, applause, but we could also see it as people that want a piece of your time, energy, etc. Want a piece of you, right? And you have to really make sure that you don't give up too much of yourself. So boundaries is what's really, really important in this moment in time. And you asked me to look at it from another perspective. The perspective here is success. So you're already in the energy of success. You may not see it, but the cards are showing it. Find openings, find areas in your life where people recognize and embrace you for you. And if you're not getting it where you're at, it might be time to turn the ship in a different direction. You don't have to do it overnight. It's a gentle, the bigger the ship, the longer the journey, the longer it takes to sort of turn it in a new direction. So that's why 3 3 months came through. Could be a 3-month journey to explore, to open up, to change direction. But lo and behold, we have a card here associated with success. So the universe is opening that up. It could be in the next quarter of the year. It could just be something that nobody's told you before. Maybe they've said negative things. Maybe that causes you to stress or doubt yourself. Don't anymore. Speaking of which, self-care is coming through. You got the 2 cards associated with a lack of sleep. So in this one, we really see it. She's putting her head under the pillows or the blankets and just like, I don't want this. There's a couple things to unpack with the 9 of Swords. The first is just general stress management, because we have someone who can't go to sleep, someone who's in the act of insomnia here. So I do feel like things from your life, whether it's school or work or environment or even like the place that you're living, they're entering into rest, meditation. So that is a bigger, we can just take both of these for what it is, which is a wake-up call. And sometimes we can't unsee or ignore something. So there is an acknowledgement that something isn't aligned anymore. So rather than fight it, lean into it and say, okay, what do I do about it? Where am I going to go next? How am I going to direct myself? Know this, staying up all night and worrying about it will not solve it. So do me a favor, if you're watching this or rewatching it during the week and you're feeling that sense of being overwhelmed, get a good night's sleep. Get up early tomorrow. Look at it from a new perspective. Talk to some other people. Research. Don't make any immediate decisions, especially if you are in a heightened emotional state. It's the worst time to make a decision. Whether you're grieving, whether you're angry, whether you're rejected, you're not level, you're not grounded, you're not thinking. That's why Spirit's very clear on this. Like, it's something that will change in a few months, but you have to sit with it for a bit. Go through all the levels of grief and frustration and emotions, and then see if you still feel the same. The 9 of Swords is just one moment in time, and it's usually just stress. So this is not to invalidate what the 9 of Swords is, but it is not to give it any more energy than it needs to have, okay? Now, other things that you can do in your life that will help you today and tomorrow. Exercise will help. So before you even get to that 9 of Swords energy, today in Los Angeles, they had the marathon. So, it could be walking, it could be riding your bike, it could be running, it could be swimming. If you could do something chair-based, if you need to do that, whatever you need to do to just sort of like get it out of the body, that's one thing. The other thing is, I mentioned counseling. Talking to somebody will really help. Do these sorts of things to kind of help find another outlet so that by the time you get to the bedroom, it's just chill. Pull down the blinds, put on a white noise machine if you need to, meditate, listen to your favorite song or music, do whatever you need to do to go into a different space. We need to bring this energy into a more calm energy space. All right. Let's take a look at your outcome. Things are better than you think. Things are coming through faster than you might imagine. 4 of Cups. There might have been something that you rejected or overlooked before, and in this moment in time, because we're looking at it from another perspective, it's saying, look again, think again, look around, look within. It's there. I love that they show that it's almost like a little ace right behind this person's head. They're only fixated on these 3 cups. So there is another way. There is another option. Are you willing to look at it? What is it that is causing you to resist? If you can look past that, I feel like things can open up. I'm going to take another look at all of this and kind of do a big idea card for this one too. And then we're going to move on to the other topics today. So what is the big thing that Spirit wants you to see? What are you missing? What is this cup? I feel like that's what we need to look at. That's what we need to clarify. Okay. So Ace of Swords is action. And sometimes we are resistant to taking the first steps. Sometimes we are critical of ourselves to the point that I can't, I won't, it'll never. So we want to remove the critical. We don't want to pepper a new sort of like first step with that sort of negativity. Just be neutral. Just say, let's see what happens at the very least. Or let's see if I can make this work. I'm ready for this to work. Why can't this work? This will work. Somehow use your alchemic questioning capabilities, which we talk time and again about on this channel, to make that breakthrough. You can say no to something. We can, because there is a critical aspect to the Ace of Swords here. So you can just say no because I want to try this. So you may have to say no to one thing in order to say yes to another. If that's the case, then there's just an encouragement right here and right now to do that so that you can step into it. But I think that for some of you, there could just be a little bit of self-criticism, a little bit of inaction, and it's just encouraging you to take a first step without any feeling of lack, like I won't or I can't, and that will help you out. Seeing this from another perspective, success is already there. Seeing this from another perspective, the way to get that is actually to connect with like-minded individuals. So getting involved in activities, extracurricular activities, sports, groups, etc. will help. Seeing this from another perspective, stop losing sleep over something. I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying there's better things waiting. This isn't worth it. This person isn't worth it. And avoid taking the bait. Things that are really cool, I see a partnership or an opportunity or some joyful, again, collaborative energy that wants to come through. 4 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Teamwork in the best possible way. Love in the best possible way. And at the center of all of this, you're the key. You're the one that is creating your reality. Okay? That was a great topic. I'm glad we got to cover it finally. All right. Like I said, I'll eventually pick the underdog if you let me. So occasionally, every 3 months or so, I'll put one of these reader's choice options. And if you're ready for me to pick an underdog, then I'll do it. So thank you. We're going to look at the other things today because, yeah, like I said, we got St. Patrick's Day coming first. So why don't we look at changing your luck? I'm going to select another deck. Before I do, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, let's use Kids Tarot for this one. I love it. All right, I want to look at, we're going to kind of go free-flowing here, but I'll look at past, present, future first. Let me see what the general collective's luck is, and then I'm going to clarify cards as needed. Oh, really? Okay. Look at the bees coming through again. Okay. And let's see, maybe I'll use the same oracle deck for this. All right, let's start off with right here, right now. Actually, we're looking at the past. So this is with respect to your luck. Some of you put in the work, teamwork in particular. So I like that you've been networking. That was one of the pieces of advice that I gave you. There could also be, though, a little bit of indulgence with this card. So 3 of Cups can be socializing too much, partying too much, also putting too much energy or thought into other people's opinions, which really don't have a lot of value at the end of the day. So everything in moderation. I feel like you've done enough work with the networking and enough work with having fun. So let's pull ourselves away from opinions at the moment and any sort of vice that we might have, whether it's caffeine, alcohol, nicotine, etc. Let's avoid that because it actually takes us out of our manifestation power. And then when we look at the card beneath it, there's 2 that are stuck together. Okay, so we have the darkening piece, which is the shadow side. So for some of us, there's just been this, like I said, I think that's the vice piece. I'll just lean on this because it makes me feel better. If I can't deal with the news today, I can't deal with my job today, I can't deal with this relationship, I'm going to, drink a bottle of wine or whatever it is. It will for a moment dampen things, but it also kind of, it takes you out of your power. So in moderation, things are fine, but in excess, it ends up kind of muting the light. We don't want to give center stage to the darkness, whatever that might be. And so right beneath it, we have the lightning card. So this is about bringing more light, more brilliance, more energy into this moment in time. So we are both shadow and light. We don't want to beat ourselves up for being in any one of those energies at any given time. But we've got to find the balance, and it is about finding balance. So moderation, balance, and not giving one voice or one situation more weight than it deserves. All right, now we're getting into the luck-making energy. We have 3 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups, and then I'll look at the bottom card. So bees are everywhere in this, and obviously I'm using very different decks in all of this. So one thing that I'm getting with this is you attract more bees with honey, right, than with vinegar, whatever the phrase is. But positivity wins out in the end. The affirmative, positive, just generous approach is going to bring good things in. And also, again, with the like-minded people, and I feel like you can get a lot done right now. So the one thing that you can do to manifest is to just get things into motion. 3 of Pentacles is write it, sketch it, blueprint it, somehow map it out. Do it with people that have the same fervor, the same gift, the same skill. And in doing so, you've got a great chance of bringing about what? Something that's really worth celebrating. This is a wish fulfillment card. You got both. So your wish can come true, but it does require some teamwork and some work. So making your work or making your luck right now is involving a little bit of the two here. And I would say celebrating little victories, little successes as you go down the road. 3 months. And is this kind of, well, I guess we're not quite there because it's really, we're skipping over spring here. But for many of you in the Northern Hemisphere, this could be in the summertime. So like I said, June, since I know I have a lot of folks that watch in Australia and New Zealand and other parts of Oceania. So let's just say 3 months out, I'm definitely getting a hit on that, even with the 3 of Pentacles here. So it feels like 3 months out, we have this energy of growth, grounding, and sustainability. So I do feel like luck changes over this next quarter of the year. Provided that we put less energy into gossip, provided that we give less energy to the darkness, provided that we find balance, and then we really start to connect with people that share the same passion, point of view, and positivity, and that brings in this energy that we see here. I mentioned at the very beginning that I had an ace of coins or like a big egg or seed or pentacle that came through. Here it is. So if you do the work right now, as we look in the future, this can be you saying, what do you think? Are you ready? So for those of you that are entrepreneurs or working on a product, service, or idea, you could pitch it. There could be something really positive that comes out of it. This is affirmation on that. Aces also can reach for things. So if you want something, we're looking at your ability to create it. And in general, just more opportunities are coming through. And I love that it's just filled with abundance. That's what we want to see with luck. So even if it feels like this, the truth of the matter is you're more into this. So winter is an illusion, like the tree here. It looks like the tree is not living. It's not, but it is. It's just in a dormancy. So we want to shake this sort of like stagnation or the dormancy and allow yourself to see what else is out there. All right, let me clear the oracle cards and let me just see if there's one thing in this moment in time that you can do to open things up. Everybody's, not everyone. I see someone asking, is this for all signs? Yes. The only portion that is specific to the signs is the elements. Collective means everyone. And I'm not going to read every sign in this. This is for everybody that's present. Okay. What do you need to focus on right now to make your luck change? This is a great card. Eight of Cups is basically, there's three things that come through. It's a cyclical card. So there's some of you that might have put something off to the side and said, I'll do that tomorrow, I'll do that someday. That someday is today. So you're going to pick up the hope, the dream, maybe even the regret. Like, why didn't I do that? Well, it's coming around again. We're in retrograde. This is kind of leading us into the next portion. So retrograde is a chance to learn a lesson that wasn't learned before. Excuse me. And this is the card of retrogrades, Eight of Cups. So this retrograde, you have a chance to say, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make it happen. You can also say, you know what? I'm tired of this thing, and you can let it go. So make or break the cycle and commit to it. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two, second chances. It didn't work before. That doesn't mean that it won't work now. So today's different. Tomorrow will be even more different. Keep trying until you get it. That's the Eight of Cups. If at first you don't succeed, keep trying. And then it's just calling to attention the level of commitment that you have, because this can sometimes be intermittent, like wipers, right? Windshield wipers. So we want it to be more consistent, not just like every couple minutes. Or in your life every couple years or every couple months. It has to be a daily routine. So put it into a practice, put it into a schedule, and in doing so, you start to embody it, and then that makes you luckier. Luck is just a synchronicity. When you're ready, it comes. Luck is preparation and wisdom and opportunity all meeting at once. You have to be wise enough to see it. You have to be ready enough to make the most of it. And then on a soul level, you have to be open to allow it to come in. But luck is just recognizing that opportunity and saying, of course. Some people are better at recognizing it. All right, let's look at the retrograde, since that is what we're in. Let's see what we need to focus on in the retrograde. So that you can't make up. All of Los Angeles lost, well, my block lost power. So one thing that I've learned is usually the connection will come back. Let's take a look at what might be coming through with the energy of retrograde. All right. What is the lesson in retrograde from the past? Other than like what we just saw, sometimes there can be like a reset. Basically, that's what happened. All the energy here had to reset. There also may be someone that tries to block you. Don't give up. I didn't give up. I'm still here. So just take a deep breath. It's not a big deal. After 10 years of doing this, something like that doesn't bother me that much. All right. In the deep past, we have the King of Swords. King of Swords is reminding you karmically that your voice matters, that you have the capacity to reach a large audience, that one size doesn't fit all when it comes to communication. So with retrograde, we need to optimize and personalize messages. There may be a desire to save time, but don't. This is true of anything, whether you're a business and you're just trying to send out like a blast off every sort of segmented audience. No, you can segment the audiences for a reason. Make sure that it's specific. If you're putting out resumes and you just want to cut and paste, it would be good to have some specific things that go into each application. As you're talking to friends and family about certain things, same sort of message here. One size doesn't fit all. That's why we see so much variety with the bats, with the birds, with the owl, etc. So customize, optimize, specialize, personalize. All the I's. All right, then we have the truth card here. Be authentic, speak your truth. And if somebody can't deal with your truth, that is more their problem than yours. We shouldn't have to diminish our truth because someone else doesn't like it. So this is going to give you a chance to truly align with people who see you, love you, and accept you unconditionally. And your truth could be anything. What you want to do in your life, who you want to marry, where you want to live, what you believe in. It's your truth. So don't let someone take your truth away from you. Those are pretty powerful things. While the power was out, I had a chance to look at the cards. All right, in the present energy, you're the best one to take the lead here and to kind of hold the mantle. I love that they actually have like a crown of flames on the torch here. So King of Wands is inventive, imaginative, bold, outspoken, stubborn in the best way. And so this is a time to be all of those things. We have a Leo energy coming through on this as well. So there could be a Leo in your life. You might have a Leo placement. That is an advantageous connection. Lean into that. But also just the bravery to step forth and say, this is who I am and this is what I believe in. Now, because we're looking at retrograde in particular, I think one of the things that you can do, this is talking the talk, this is walking the walk. So communicative and demonstrative. Say it, show it, do it, live it. You need both. If you have both, people have a very hard time of finding fault in you because you have what? Integrity. Because you're what? Believable, reliable. And that is harder to find fault with. So to the best of your ability, have both of those sort of attributes in your court. Say it, then do it. And don't say it if you can't do it. Clarifying card on this one. And this is the best thing that you can do in a retrograde cycle. Listening. It's the hardest thing. Maybe you're not being listened to because there's people around you that just want to say what they think. They just want to complain. Whatever's going on here where it's sort of this frustration of, do you hear me? You can also use those exact words that I just said. Do you understand? Does this make sense? Are there any questions? Those are things that I definitely use when I'm communicating. Am I clear? This will help. But most importantly, listen again, check that you listened correctly, check that they listened correctly, and I think that's really key. I was looking a little closer at this illustration. You can see all of these things like radiating out. It's almost like that's the sun, and these are all the orbits. So in this moment in time, you can start to call things into your sort of orbit. Again, partly by just demonstrating it, showing people that you're a person of integrity. Okay, one of the lights went off here as well. All right, let's take a look at justice next, and I'll turn this light on. All right, so justice, of course, represents choice. In the justice card, she's weighing her options, and she's deciding, am I in? Am I out? What do I stand for? She's honest. She's taking action. But the decision has to be made. So in this retrograde, if you're indecisive, people are going to go straight through all of those cracks in the communication, and they're going to use that to their advantage. So be very decisive, be very honest. That's going to help. If you need to get the help of a lawyer to get something fixed or, sort of solved, absolutely lean on that legal advice. And that kind of leans into this one, clearing energy. There may be something that isn't right that needs to be cleaned up in a legal contract. Retrograde is really encouraging you to look at the legalese, look at the written word, use it, and do whatever you need to do to make that right. And of course, we can use smudging techniques in our life. There are so many different ways to smudge. I have a very old video on that. You can look at it. The most common one, of course, is using sage or incense, but you can use sound, lots of different methods for clearing and cleaning. So you want to not only clean the physical house, but you want to kind of clean the metaphysical house here too. And so smudging is something that can be done on a weekly or monthly basis, and it just kind of helps get rid of the cobwebs, the energetic cobwebs. So let's pull it all together. aside from the funny fact that, as I said, let's look at retrograde, the power went out. I think just these three together are really strong. So we have clear communication, actions that align to that clear communication, and decisive and fair outcomes. And the decisive piece is key. And then beneath the surface, we have aligning to your truth, so speaking your truth. We have listening and showing that you have listened. And then we have taking care of things, cleaning it up legally, financially, energetically, so that it's balanced, so that it's fair. And what can you do today to make sure that everything is okay? Here we go again with the Four of Cups. So remember, we saw that in one of the earlier decks. It's about looking around and thinking, what if I'm okay with this happening at a different time? What if there's a different person that is going to be the one that I need to lean on? What if it could all happen right here, right now? Being open to different outcomes and different points of view, and don't compare yourself unfairly or unnecessarily to someone else. Okay, mostly pretty manageable, but I will take the initial loss of power and everything as an additional message, which is someone may try to flip the switch, flip the script, block you. Whatever that is, you can get past it. Be patient. What did I do? I just sat here for 2 minutes, texted Dakota, tried to get into chat, let you guys know. So just communicate status, be patient. This too shall pass. That's the big takeaway from the spirit side coming through and kind of blocking everything. This too shall pass. Okay. We got through it. I think we're done now before there's another power outage. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Thank you so much for being present. Let's look. I always like to do one final card here at the end here. So this is your chance, and then we'll kind of wrap up today. I'll do a mini meditation, but let's do the final card first. If you have one more question that you'd like to ask, go ahead and ask that right now. And let's see what's coming through. It is okay to say no. And there may be something that doesn't sit well with you or serve your highest good. You can walk away from that. So as a yes or a no, justice reverse is a no. And it's a no because there's an imbalance. It's a no because you don't want it, or it's a no because it's just not the best option in front of you, or you haven't decided that you want it. You need to get more decisive before moving forward on that. And it's important to fight for your rights and to say what you need to say and to say no when necessary. Okay? All right. Let's take a couple of moments here to just celebrate that we're still here, that the connection came back, and talk for a second. So as I said earlier, one of the single best and easiest ways to show your support is to, if you're brand new, subscribe so you never miss out. Hit the like button once, opt into bell notifications, and when this goes on replay, leave a comment. Even better on replay, because that will show that it's still getting some traction, and YouTube likes that. If you haven't checked out my podcast, by the way, you can look at the latest one on the podcast tab. Follow me also on social media so you never miss out on a future reading. And again, if there's any questions on the time, it's always listed there, so that's a great place to go. I really do lean on your support here to be able to do what I'm doing. So the super stickers, super chats, super likes, and the memberships help. I'm thinking of doing something different with the next round of videos where I do something exclusive to members. It'll be an experiment, but just to say thank you, and also possibly to kind of help that part grow, because that's where I can get extra revenue to do more podcasts, because it's all self-funded right now. So, and the podcast doesn't make back its investment. So if you like that kind of stuff, getting involved with these things helps. So thank you in advance. Quick reminder, I currently don't offer private readings, nor do I use direct messages, so be mindful of that. You can go to my website if you ever need official information, links, etc. Now let's just say thanks. So again, I'm going to acknowledge those who have shown up and given a little bit extra, but I'll first say thank you to everybody, whether you are a first-time viewer or just hung out here, hit the like button and subscribed. Could not do this, would not be here without you, so thank you. Now, just as a little bit of extra TLC, I'd like to also say thanks to those that decided to become a member or gift a membership. And let's take a look at that now. All right. Also, just again, appreciation for all that are present. So today, here, looks like there's only a couple today. So Mira and Andrea, thank you so much. Good to have you here. I appreciate you. All right, let's take a quick look at super stickers and super chat and see what we've got here. A few more, so thank you. Raven, Lucy, Monica, Vicky, Sarah, Kristen, and Jordan wouldn't be here without your support. Much appreciation. Let's celebrate some of the milestones that some of you have accomplished right now. So let's take a look at that. All right. Lucy, 37 months of membership. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well. Thank you very much. Thanks, Lucy, for gifting a membership and also for giving again today. I appreciate that. Let's see. Lori, thank you for 19 months of amazing membership, and I'm glad the positivity comes across. And thank you for your love from Ireland. Good to always come through and then sort of say hello to all of you. All right, so let's see. Sorry, I just saw a text from Dakota. Let me just make sure everything's coming through. Oh, good. Okay, he saw it. Okay. Colette, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Water Girl, welcome to the channel. Good to have you join as a member as well. Let's see. I think we have a few additional stickers and memberships first here. So Mindful Steps, you gifted 5 memberships today. Thank you very much. Deborah, thank you for gifting a membership. Sarah, thank you for 36 months of membership. That's amazing. I'm seeing some additional things coming through here, and it could just be retrograde, so apologies. I'll try to go through and say thanks again. So Eva or Ava, thank you for a super sticker. Jordan, thank you as well. Kristen, thank you. Sarah, thank you very much. Vicky, also just acknowledging that. Monica, thank you. Lucy and Raven, I think, yeah, more came through as I'm here. Tahoe, 44 months of membership, much appreciated. I see Maria, and Sarah George also giving some stickers, as well as Jeannie. Now I'm seeing all of it. I think there's just a delay today. So if I didn't mention your name, it's nothing personal. It's the internet. It's Mercury retrograde, and it is in effect today for sure. All right, I'm going to take one more look to make sure that I didn't miss something. I did my best, folks. Okay, now they're all coming through. So I think I got everyone. Enzo, Barbara, Water Girl, Shimo, I think it is, Alina, Sarah, 7 a.m., Princess, Quaint Norris, Karen, Rachel, 62 and Sunny, Danielle, let's see, Rachel, Mira, Andrea, Gina. I think I got it all. I hope I did. Thank you guys so much. Again, lots of technical issues today, but I'm glad you're here. A couple of last ones there. Mindful Steps, thank you for your contribution. All right, have some fun today, folks. Don't let the retrograde get you down. Let's end with Apollo, and then I'm going to take a nap and then try to get the Aries reading done, and they'll all be done today. And then, like I said, I'm going to try some new things with the next round. So, hey, buddy, you heard your name. It's all about you now. Let's get you into full view. Yes, good boy. All right, everybody. That's it for today. Lots of love and light. See you again. Thanks for hanging out and sticking around through the power outage. I see we lost a few, but it's all right. You can catch this all on the replay. Special thanks to Dakota for letting me know everything was back together. And again, don't let retrograde get you down. See you soon. Bye-bye.